everyone, this is our review for Weapons.
Yes.
And Weapons is by the same director who did Barbarian.
Zach Cregger from
And-
Whitest Kids You Know.
Yeah.
Another comedian, sketch comedian turned horror director.
Yeah, just like Jordan Peele,
Yes.
famously sketch comedian turned horror director.
Now there are two of them. This is getting out of hand.
But they make fantastic horror movies.
They sure do.
So the prerequisite for making a good horror movie is knowing how to do comedy beforehand.
Sketch comedy specifically.
Yes.
Yes.
But Weapons had been advertised earlier this year.
A lot.
And the trailer was really, really careful not to reveal anything. It just showed you that creepy run, the creepy Naruto type run, and that was it.
Yes.
Very, very minimal information. So we went to go see this movie, super excited about it, but not knowing anything about it. And that is the best way to see this film. So we will talk about the story and do some spoiler stuff. We will be very clear when we are getting to that part. But up until we talk about the spoilers, we're just going to talk about how good the movie was, because it is probably one of my favorite films of all time type things. Like, it really shot high to the top of my all time favorites. Especially, I mean, for this year, absolutely, like within the top 3.
For sure.
You know, next to like Sinners and Warfare. We had a
Yes.
lot of really, really good. Superman, I also really loved. But this movie was so incredibly surprising in what it's actually about.
Yes.
And again, the best way to see this movie is to go into it without any knowledge. And I am concerned that, you know how people put spoilers in thumbnails and they put spoilers in headlines, and there's going to be something stupid on Reddit. So go out and see the movie before it gets spoiled, because you don't want to know what it's about before you go to see it.
So I think we need to give them like a why you should see it without telling them.
Yeah, it's
any
going
of
to be
them what.
very, very difficult just going over what is said in the trailer, basically.
Yes. Yeah. So I would say I agree with Keitel's assessment. Weapons is one of the top movies of the year, if not like the top movie of the year currently for me. And it is just an all-time great. And if you like more, I would almost say Steven Spielberg type horror movies, where it's not just dark rooms and jump scares. There is lots of character, there is investigation, there is humor, action, all of the things. If you like that, but you also want to be creeped out and disturbed, this is a movie you absolutely have to see.
Yes.
It is stand out phenomenal, and start to finish, my eyes were glued to the screen. We saw it in IMAX. Absolutely worth seeing in IMAX. It looks great on that screen, and the sound is only benefited. But it is phenomenally shot.
Yeah.
Some of the cinematography in this movie will blow your mind. Has a tremendous soundtrack, which Zach Cregger also worked on. And the soundtrack morphs along with the movie as the movie morphs. And the acting is just equally phenomenal. Like, I have zero complaints about this movie. And I think if you like weird hybrid horror, you should see this movie.
Yeah. Julie Garner plays one of the characters, and the first time I saw her was on Ozark.
Yes, and
but
was
she
great.
was Silver Surfer in the recent Fantastic Four movie, and so she's been in quite a number of things since. But yeah, she was just really, really incredible in this film. And again, not going to talk too much about the cast, because I think you should just go into it and just be happy with the surprise and the shock of it. So I think the review part of this is going to be relatively small compared to when we start talking about the plot and the story, just because it's really difficult to fully talk about it without giving away some of the features of the film, how it's presented and whatnot. So just a very, very, coming from two people who really love horror films, and just the horror genre in general. This was one of the best horror movies that I've seen in quite some time. And again, like you said, it doesn't rely on the very often used, like the jump scares and the cheap mechanics of horror. You know, the stuff that you usually associate with a horror film. It's just extremely, extremely unique.
This is more like What Lies Beneath or It style
I'd say
horror versus Insidious or The Conjuring. Like it is,
Right.
you get a lot more daytime, you get a lot more character drama and investigation than you do scares and creepy moments.
Right, yeah, it's not so, and I'm a very, very scared person. I'm a scaredy cat. So, I'll get every jump scare and stuff like that. Like, this is a movie where I could tell someone, oh yeah, you won't go home, feeling traumatized and stuff in the way that a lot of horror movies, mess with you. Like, after I saw Insidious, I was so freaking creeped out, like, didn't want to go to the bathroom and turn on the lights, that kind of, like, uneasiness. It's a, like you said, more, like, along the lines of It in terms of the horror and the story.
This is not a spoiler because it's in the rating for the movie, but if you are grossed out by gruesome images, there are some gruesome images in this movie. But that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah.
It's not scary in the traditional boo.
No, not the cheap jump scare mechanic stuff. But yeah, we just wanted to do a review for this.
Highly recommend. Please go see it, then come back and watch the rest of this so you can see exactly why we love this movie.
So then we'll
talk
talk about, talk about like the stuff beyond. But yeah, okay, so this is going to be the spoilers. Now we are going to talk about the story and the characters. Final and last warning. Spoilers!
Oh no! If you didn't click stop, you're about to get all the things spoiled, Marty!
So, again, we went into this movie not knowing anything except some kids go missing. They are blaming it on the teacher.
Yes.
And that was legit it.
And you also got 2 hours or an hour of camera footage released on YouTube.
They had like some ARG stuff that they were doing beforehand.
Yes, just the kids running.
Yeah, that little...
The creepy run.
The creepy run. So, the film is in little vignettes.
Yes, each chapter is a person.
Right, so each person has their own section. And the teacher is the first one. What was her name? Justine, right. So Julia Garner's character, Justine, has the first little vignette. And the thing that I loved about these, the way that they did them, was the more character vignettes that you saw, the more you knew what was going to happen or what had happened without them showing you. And so the best example of that was her car gets painted with the red paint witch on it. And then you find out in the next
It was actually
scene,
I think it was 2 chapters
Yeah,
after.
maybe it was 2 chapters afterwards.
Archers, which is Josh
Right.
Brolin.
Then you find out that he's the one who did it, but instead of ever showing you, it just...
He has a scene about red paint.
Right. There's a scene about red paint, and then there's this slow, quick pan to the red paint in the back of his truck, and you're like, oh, he's the one that did it. But the movie never had to show it to you, you know.
It didn't have to tell you.
It didn't have to tell you.
It can show you clues, and you can figure it out.
Showing without telling, yes.
The magic of this movie, well, there are 2 things I think are magical, and you explained both of them in that story. The camera work in this movie, and I'm assuming you've seen it at this point, is outstanding.
You better have seen it at this point.
The chase scenes, the way the camera moves, even in scenes where things aren't interesting, like the paint, the camera is it's an action movie.
Yeah.
Like, it is an action movie camera in a horror movie, and it is so exciting to just watch. Like, I can't wait to watch this movie again, because the camera is a main character. But the second thing, which you also said in that anecdote, is this movie has no unexplained devices.
Yep.
Everything that happens is shown to you and explained to you at one point or another in the movie. And the way the characters overlap and all the different little vignettes, whether they're happening simultaneously or one starts after the other, you're never left with a scene that was like, well, that was a waste of time.
Yeah.
Everything has its purpose, and there's not, I can't think of a single plot hole that actually occurs in the movie because of how well shown you are of every single thing that could be confusing or mysterious or unexplained.
Right. So, I mean, let's just jump straight to talking about the main villain. Because this was the biggest twist for me. having the story ultimately be about this witch was such a good surprise because, again, from the trailer, from the title Weapons, I kind of thought it was going to be some like Children of the Corn type thing, like there's some alien signal or there's a government experiment, they're putting out some frequency. So the villain being a witch caught me completely off guard, and I was so incredibly pleased with that because it wasn't like the recent witches. And we went like Agatha, you know, the whole like practical magic witch, Hocus Pocus, you know. The kind of, well, I guess even Hocus Pocus is more aligned with
she's
this
more
kind
Hocus
of witch.
Pocus than Practical Magic.
But like, you know, the nice witches, like, no, she's a straight up freaking Hans Christian Andersen, like, goblin witch.
And she knows it too.
She knows it, yes.
And the way that she dresses herself up like a freaking David Lynch character, with her wig and her glasses and showing up in people's dreams, was so maniacal and creepy. And like, she knew what she was doing. Like, the entire movie, she is there pulling strings and doing things. And when you figure out that she's a witch, it's such a great reveal. And the whole story makes sense. And it's, what a presence. What an absolute presence.
And this, immediately, you know, you see her and she has like the really goofy wig. She has the really flamboyant clothes. She has this huge carpet bag. It reminded me of Roald Dahl's. Roald Dahl's?
Roald Dahl.
What do you mean?
That's his name.
Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl.
I call him Ronald.
She calls him Ronald. What his name
Roald
is Roald.
Dahl. Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl's Witches.
The more we say it, the less good it sounds.
Yeah, so Roald Dahl, you know,
James and the Giant Peach,
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory,
the
you
Twits.
know, Ron Dahl.
Ron Dahl. Ron Dahl calls for aid.
He has a story called The Witches, and this was redone as a movie. Angelica Houston played the witch, and then they redid it again where Anne Hathaway played the witch, and that one was apparently trash. So whatever. I never saw it. I can't say if it was trash. That was the internet hating on it. The internet hated
But the original's great.
The remake, yeah. But she reminded me of a character from his novel because that novel, they were bald, they wore wigs, they had like these very flamboyant costumes. They hated kids. They wanted to kill the kids, turn them into mice, and then kill them.
I mean, a lot of this movie, I feel, was pulling from witches. Like the soup.
Yeah.
The little boy had to eat, you know, the mouse is like, I don't want to eat soup.
Yeah.
But it was like the boy had to feed
all
of
that's
his...
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, there's like some strong Roald Dahl in this film.
There is, and it's great for it. I love it.
I really, really loved the depiction of her because she felt like a witch from like older stories, you know, like 90s depictions of witches and stuff. So I just thought that was a really, really good way to portray her.
And the actress who plays her is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't know her name. I've never seen her before.
We looked her up because we thought, oh, we'd seen her in something before, but no, we hadn't. She's been in a lot of things, but stuff we've never seen.
She is every jump scare in that movie, and they're not hard jump scares, but they're just so creepy and disturbing because of her presence and how she acts in those moments. Like, she's having fun. She is having fun tormenting all of the townspeople.
Right.
And it's such a great, just pit in your stomach feeling whenever she's on the screen because you know she's up to no good.
Yeah, there was this one part, and the movie had some really, really funny parts, which we can talk about.
Yes.
One of the funniest parts was in Josh Brolin's dream.
Yes.
When he is being shown, you know, Matthew's running off to the woods, runs back into the house. And then he sees her on the ceiling, and he has this jump scare. You know, it's a jump scare for the whole audience. And he's just like, what the fuck?
He just lets out a big old
The
WTF.
whole audience started laughing.
It was hilarious.
Just because it was such a real reaction.
Well, it's exactly how we were reacting
Yeah.
watching the movie. And I think the movie did a really good job of none of the protagonists were perfect,
No.
but they were relatable. And
Right.
you understood why they did what they did. I think a big problem with a lot of horror movies face, as any horror fans knows, is don't go in the basement by yourself.
Right.
Like there's none of that in this movie.
No.
They act very rationally, they act very intelligently, and the mistakes they make are very human mistakes.
Yeah. That is a good point, though, because we were discussing there was no like villain,
No.
other than the witch. I mean,
Right.
obviously the witch, but it's like, oh yeah, this wasn't a screw up because this isn't something that happened because someone didn't vet her presence or someone legit. This just happened.
She just came to town and started messing
She
things
was
up.
invited to the house. She was taken in by her niece, and so you don't know a lot of the backstory
Up until the end.
up until the end. But the kid, Alex, his parents tell him that, okay, well, Aunt Gladys is going to come live with us. So Aunt Gladys was his mother's aunt, so it's his great aunt. But there isn't really any explanation. You see her saying Alex's mother was like, oh, well, you know, this is what my mother would have done or my mother would have wanted. So her mother's dead. And you think, well, what happened to her mother? Is this whole family? Does witchcraft run in their family? Because you don't know exactly how the spell works. You have a belonging of your target. And then
You make a stew.
you make a stew. Or no, even before that, so Gladys brought with her this tree, like this brambled tree.
It's the only thing she brings with
Yeah,
her.
she just brings this like special tree that's bewitched. She grabs a branch, she wraps the target's anything, a possession around it. And then the person that she wants the target attacking, you get the hair and that's the victim. Wrap the hair around it, you break it. And so that particular thing means like kill, right? And so there are probably, and you have to like use your blood. So there were a lot of, it told you exactly how the spell worked without necessarily, she never explained it. She never explained, oh, first I need your belonging, then I need your head. It just showed you.
Well, and the funny thing is like you see everything the characters see.
Yeah.
And Alex, the little boy, at the end of the movie, figures it out.
Yeah.
And basically uses the spell against her
Right.
to kind of resolve the act. But I love that because, again, Zach Kreger isn't explaining to you, well, this is actually from the 1820s.
Yeah.
It was a tree that was brought from old like there was no need for explanation. It's like you can figure it out by watching the same way the characters figure things out by watching.
Yeah, there's no flashback. You didn't need to do an intro scene of, you know, where the tree came from and anything like that. It was just everything already existed in this universe.
And it makes
really,
sense.
Yeah, I really like when stories do that because I think it allows you to have more, there's more creativity about what, you know, like what happened before this. Where was Gladys living before this? Why is she sick? Like, you know, because she seemed, I mean, she was clearly very sick in the film. Like, she had this creepy little remaining strands of her hair
Braids.
that were braided. But she said that, she told Alex, I thought your mom and dad would make me feel better, but maybe if I had a bunch of kids from your class, they'd make me feel better. So it's not really
We don't know what she
explained.
wants.
Right. She wasn't like drinking their blood. We don't know what the end goal was going to be.
We know they were being fed soup.
They were being fed soup,
A lot of soup.
which is legit just from Roald Dahl.
Soup.
I think he was very inspired by that story now that
I do too.
now that I think
No,
about
I
it.
absolutely do.
Because thinking back, like the witches in that story too, they took off their wigs and their heads were really itchy and stuff like that. They had long nails. They were super creepy. They were wearing like fake skin.
Well, you know what else is kind of funny is throughout the movie, in Justine's classroom and on the TV of the principal and his husband, there are notes about parasites. They're watching a parasite documentary. The kids are learning about parasites in class.
Yeah.
And Gladys is a parasite.
Yeah.
Like she's just inserted herself in this really nice family home. She's completely disrupted it. She's kind of taken over. Like she is feeding off of the energy of the people around her. And at the end of the movie, you even see, and it is explained through the narrator, but basically the longer you have been parasitically controlled
Right.
by Gladys, the longer it takes you to come out of it. And we see that with Josh Brolin coming back instantly because he's only controlled for less than a minute. And, some of the kids starting to come back.
Yeah.
But then the parents who were controlled, not back
Right,
at all.
because by that time they'd already been mind controlled for 3 months. So yeah, I do like how it doesn't need to explain like the specific rules about how the bewitchment works and whatnot. You can kind of piece it together, but it's also not mysterious enough to where you're like, well, this doesn't make sense. Like you said, it doesn't allow for any plot holes because everything is fully explained. I really, really liked the cop.
Yes. I was just going to say there's a really good scene in this movie that I feel is the perfect human experience.
Yeah. Because, see, this is one thing. I don't remember any of their names. Because this is what happens when
the
characters
cop's name
are
was
not.
Matthew.
Yeah. No, Matthew is Josh Brolin's son.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
His Matthews was his last name.
Yeah.
That's because it was on his badge.
But his name was
something
else. I remember his girlfriend's name because they mentioned Donna a couple times.
Yes.
But it is hard when you have only like one character say their name.
Well, you also get it as the title card,
That's true.
which we just don't remember.
We just don't remember.
We just don't remember it.
But that is one thing where like, okay, it's difficult.
Yes. So
But
the cop.
We'll just call him the cop. First of all, this actor's great. He was Han Solo.
In Solo.
Yeah, in Solo, which is,
He was good in that movie.
yeah, he was really, really good.
And he was great in this one.
But his situation becomes very clear. Like, okay, this seems like it was his girlfriend. He's dating the police captain's daughter. She may have encouraged her dad to hire him. He doesn't really want to be doing this. And so the interaction you have where he tackles the junkie and he repeatedly checks in on him. Hey, are you okay? We both came down pretty hard there. Are you sure you're all right? Are the handcuffs too tight? Don't worry, I'll uncuff you once we're done with the frisking. And then
he puts on gloves.
He puts on
and he
gloves.
says, is there anything sharp on you?
Yeah.
And the junkie says no. And then he says, you're sure? I'm not going to get pricked if I stick my hand in your pocket.
Yeah.
And he immediately gets pricked.
Junkie says no again. He's
By a
like, no,
needle.
nothing. Yeah, gets pricked. And he has this like very human reaction. He punches him.
Punches him just right across the face, knocks him out.
And then you see how terrified he is of being stabbed by a
Right.
needle, which is a
An
very,
unknown needle,
very
yeah.
legit concern and fear. And then in the next interaction between them in the following day, when the junkie character stabs him in the face with 3 needles, and he's immediately freaking out in the car. He's asking him, he's like, do you have AIDS? Do you have HIV? Do you have any kind of hepatitis? Do you have anything? The audience is laughing just because it felt
very
so
real. Yeah.
It felt like the most realistic reaction of how that would go. He's very, very worried about being pricked with these dirty drug needles. And I just really loved how real the characters felt. There wasn't any kind of, like you said, they're not perfect, but they were real and relatable. And I really appreciated that. Even when, the junkie tells him, he'll say, I know where the kids are. He's like, you're lying. He's like, no, I swear, I'll take you there. He doesn't need to sit there and question back and forth.
Right.
He's like, okay, well, let's go check. And that's just that. They address it. They go over there. He unfortunately goes in the house and immediately, bewitched. But I do like how he believed him instead of doing the typical thing that they do in movies, which is like they don't listen or they don't believe, and then it ends up prolonging the situation. In this case, he had his doubt right immediately. He's like, you're lying to me because you're trying to get out of this. He's like, no, I'm not. He's like, okay, well, let's go over to the house right now. I really, really like how quickly and efficiently things in horror movies get progressed, because so many times it is something like, oh, you didn't pick up the phone in time. Oh, you weren't listening. You didn't heed my warning.
But I was eating cereal.
So this movie had none of that, and it is so refreshing.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good sort of relationship moments in this movie. That one was good. I love the one between Justine and Archer after the confrontation with B.D. Wong.
Yeah.
Which was horrifying.
Yeah, that was
Like, what they did to his face
I know.
was horrifying. And that entire, just, like, it goes from scary to funny to scary to funny to scary. Like,
Yeah.
the jump between those two emotions. But then afterwards, Justine talks to Archer, and they've been very much at odds the whole movie.
Right.
And she's like,
because he blames Justine
her
for
the
his
disappearance
son's
of the children.
disappearance.
And
Which again, that is also very understandable.
believable.
Like, you know, he's very upset.
and she, thanks him for helping her.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's okay, I know you didn't do it.
Right.
And it's like, that was the resolution
And
of
then
their
guess what?
conflict. And then they work together.
Yeah, he immediately says, can I show you something? Because at that point, he had already been triangulating like where the kids were running, like what the intersection was. And I appreciated how he brought her into it. He didn't need to go to the house by himself.
No.
He was excited to have someone that wanted to hear what he had to say.
Yes.
Immediately, hey, I'm sorry I attacked you. I'm sorry, I'm glad you were there, blah, blah, blah. Can I show you this? I think we can figure it out. She didn't have any disbelief. She said, oh my gosh,
I know where
this is
this is.
Alex's
Yeah.
house. That is so freaking good.
Such a refreshing scene.
But like,
It's intelligent.
Yes, because everyone was kind of working together in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in horror movies, they prolong the conflict by making the characters
Dumb.
have miscommunication problems, disbelief. Yeah, there's always the don't go in there. That's
Yeah.
a trope, In this one, it was legit. We were screaming like, don't go in there. But it was because the witch had Alex's parents, who were bewitched, get you as soon as you were in there. And then you turn into one of her lackeys. So yeah, I just really, really love this film so much. I'm so grateful they did not show any of this in the trailer.
Oh, it's such a well-cut trailer.
I'm so tired of trailers showing you everything. I don't know how they got away with it. I think because we watched The Studio, if you haven't seen it, it's a fantastic show, but it gives you some insight into the production aspect of film and media and whatnot. And so you get to see, this comical depiction of the marketing team, but it's probably more realistic than anything. But they'll sit in on a movie so that they can say, okay, this is how we need to cut the trailer. This is how we need. And it really makes me wonder if they just had a really, really smart marketing team that knew not to give too much away. Or did the director come in and say, oh no, I'm not letting you do any of this stuff in the trailer. You can show the running, you can kind of show stuff just from the first vignette, but that's it.
There's a version of that trailer that shows the final
Yes.
chase. Because the final chase is so well shot. Like it is chasing kids through houses,
Right.
the camera is smashing through windows with children. And like it is such a fun scene.
Yeah.
And you absolutely know another studio
Oh,
would have
yeah.
shown that in the trailer.
Yep.
And you'd be waiting the whole movie like, where's that chase scene with the kids?
Yep,
And
that's
like,
exactly right.
what a joy it was to have none of this in the back of your mind. Like, when's that scene gonna happen?
Or they would have shown the creepy, they would have shown Gladys the first time she shows up.
You don't even get her in the trailer.
No.
At all.
Again, like, they don't let you know that it's anything remotely regarding witchcraft or, black magic, anything like that. I still thought it was going to be like some Signal, some MK Ultra stuff, some
You get
government
dream
experience.
sequences. You get
Yeah.
Justine's dream, you get Archer's dream, and then you get the kids running. And like, that's truly all you need.
Yeah, that's
Like,
it.
oh, bless you, Zach Kreger,
Yeah.
for making a good trailer or for allowing a
yes.
good trailer to be made.
Whoever was in charge of that trailer, we need more of that.
Yes.
Because we just, and I know some people like to go into the movies, and I'm sure there may be some people who are watching this part thinking, I want to go see it after I know. And that's fine. If you were like that, then hopefully this has convinced you.
This is just a movie that's designed for surprise.
Yes.
It really is. It's like an old, I told you right afterwards, it's like, this was like watching a modern Hitchcock movie. Because it really does feel like that every chapter is a little gift for the viewer. Like, hey, you enjoyed that last one, but wait till you see what we have in store now with this character. And it's such a fun way to watch that movie. Oh, so good. And then the credits coming in slanted.
I know, the credits
The
coming in
triangle.
along the
We
triangle.
still don't know what the triangle means.
No, because the triangle has its own. But I like there is
are
something
mysteries.
more, yeah. And you also don't know if like Alex's bloodline do they have witchcraft is it only a witch's blood that works on that branch?
Because he was able to use it.
Or is it just blood in general? But yeah, it was so good. Like, yeah, the tree's creepy.
Little
it's
tree.
probably a creepy little backstory
Little
to that
bonsai tree.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it was probably grown from like the body of some satanic ritual or whatnot. Like she was an evil witch, okay? She was not like a good witch selling sage lotion and mint shampoo. Like she was some evil satanic ass witch, man.
I love that Josh Brolin painted the word witch on
Yeah.
Justine's car.
Right.
Like, but he was very prophetic.
Yeah.
Because in his dream, he saw the assault rifle with 217, and that's when the kids became weaponized.
Right, which
So
is what he tells Justine. They were weaponized. It was like a homing missile. He was very smart.
he figured out so much, and I loved that.
Yeah.
Just a smart character. I love smart characters. And Justine was too. You know, she obviously suffered from alcoholism, but when she was sober,
Yeah.
she was on the job, like working the
Right.
case. So like,
Even when she
I
was
love it.
drinking, she was on the job.
Yeah.
She followed Alex home and she was kind of snooping around.
Oh, that scene.
Oof.
See, and this is what's great about
first
this kind of
scene.
horror is so many movies rely on jump scares. But there is nothing more disturbing in this movie than seeing a door open,
Yep.
having nothing come out of it, and then slowly but surely,
Yeah.
a silhouetted woman is just coming at you with scissors in her hand
Yeah,
like
the
this.
way-
It's creepy.
The way she was walking, that was probably the creepiest part of the film, is because there was such a delay to her
Yes.
getting to the door. And then when she was walking, she really was walking, like, waddling.
Just creepy.
Kind of like, a toy, you'd make the legs walk.
Yes.
Yeah, it was so and then you heard the trunk open. I loved how animated our audience was too, like the gasping and like, oh no, don't do that. Oh no.
You were even like
I was
don't
doing
go
it.
in there.
I was doing
You
it.
were doing it too.
But that's part of the movie going experience.
It
You
is.
can watch this stuff at home. You can. And if you're not able to see it in the theater,
This is
I
an
hope you
IMAX
are,
movie
but-
for me. Like this and
yeah.
Warfare are so benefited by the format of
Yes.
the IMAX
There
theater.
is still something really enjoyable about seeing a movie in a theater. It is a viewing experience.
Yes.
It's like people will justify concert ticket prices. Like, oh, I'm going to spend $155 a seat. But it's like, we need to justify that as well for really good films.
Because the theaters will die if we don't.
Yeah,
Fortunately, this movie is doing well.
that's good.
Opening weekend, it's doing phenomenal.
I just hope it doesn't get spoiled.
I know.
This is what I hate
There's
about
going to be a
YouTube.
picture on YouTube.
There's going to be
of
a
the
picture
woman,
of her on
of the
YouTube.
witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first time you see her, not apart from the jump scare, the first time she walks in and she sits in front of Marcus, the creepiest thing about her is that she's so odd.
She's
and
so
she's
odd.
so off. Her lipstick is bleeding into the skin around her mouth.
It's like she's never actually made herself look normal before.
No. And there's no, she's not trying to, and
No.
that's the creepy thing.
She's absolutely using that as a weapon itself.
Yes.
To like
She knows.
make you
yes,
uncomfortable so you don't want to speak to her more.
That is exactly it. She's doing this power play thing, like the red lipstick bleeding all around her mouth and stuff. And when I saw after the film, I told you, I was like, which character is she a match made in hell with?
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage and Longlegs.
Yes.
And her are a match made in hell because
The
they're
makeup
both
is
creepy.
horrific.
Yes, they're so incredibly creepy. But just having like that unsettled effect on you just by looking at them, you're like, you're not doing anything creepy, but you look so creepy and it makes me uncomfortable. That is the effect. And it's not that they had to make her scary. She wasn't scary looking in that traditional sense,
No.
But there's so many details about her. You're like, what the heck is going on? Like her teeth were filed down.
Yeah.
Her teeth were
She
filed
had
down
just nubs and gums.
to like the gums. They were teeny tiny. And you're like, what is going on? Filed straight though, completely filed straight. And just that kind of creepy detail about her, you're like, there's so much going on that just makes you really, really uncomfortable. And did a phenomenal job with her.
It's so funny because they've already started promoting his next movie. or at least, doing early hype cycles.
Yeah.
Because Zach Cregger is making a Resident Evil movie.
Yeah.
And it's part of the Resident Evil universe, the games, but it's not a remake. It's going to be like a standalone story in that universe. And throughout this movie, I was just thinking,
Yeah.
oh, that's a Resident Evil character, and that's a Resident Evil type walk, and like the chase scene. Oh, that's going to be. I am so excited for this man to do something with that property because he's really good at it.
Yeah.
Like a perfect pick for the next project. I am very excited.
Yeah, we have nothing but good things to say about it. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed our review and our discussion, and let us know your thoughts if you've seen it, what some of your theories are. And yeah, that's all, everyone. Bye.
Triangle.
Triangle. Triangle.